The poison in the air. The human's name was Evan Cole, a scout from Earth's frontier exploration team. His mission was simple: land, scan the terrain, and report. The planet was called Morella 9, a lush green moon orbiting a gas giant. From orbit, it looked peaceful, calm, even beautiful. But Evan had no idea that the very air he breathed was slowly killing him. His landing pod crashed deeper into the jungle than planned. He had no contact with the main ship, no backup, no fresh oxygen supply. Still, he smiled as he walked through the alien forest, tall blue trees rising like pillars into the sky. Strange birds flew overhead, their wings humming softly. Alien flowers glowed near his boots. This place is almost too perfect, he said to himself. But then, he felt it, a tiny itch at the back of his throat. He coughed once, then again. He shook his head. Must be the air's humidity. An hour later, his legs felt heavy, his skin burned. He dropped to his knees, his vision blurred. Dizziness took over. System, he croaked into his wristband. Diagnose biosigns. But the system only replied, unknown toxins detected. Medical override required. He collapsed in the grass, and everything went dark. He didn't know how much time passed. Minutes? Hours? But he became faintly aware of soft footsteps around him, not human. Light. Graceful. He forced his eyes open. A figure stood over him. A woman. No, not human. She was tall and elegant, with silver skin that shimmered under the planet's twin suns. Her hair floated like strands of mist. Her eyes were wide, glowing green with slitted pupils. Her clothes were woven from crystal-like threads. Evan tried to speak, but only a weak gasp escaped. The alien girl crouched beside him and touched his forehead gently. Her skin felt cool, almost like water. Her voice was soft, musical, but he couldn't understand her words. Ves, Metari, Yol Ehana, she whispered. Then she looked at her own chest, hesitated, and then nodded to herself. She reached into her robe and pressed gently on her body. A thin stream of silver-blue glowing liquid appeared from beneath her skin, thick, smooth, and warm. She caught it in a small crystal bowl from her belt. It shimmered with energy. She brought the bowl to Evan's lips. His eyes widened slightly, confused. She spoke again, slowly, firmly, looking into his eyes. Drink. And for some strange reason, he did. The moment the liquid touched his tongue, a shock ran through his body. His chest tightened. His head pounded. Then suddenly, everything stopped. No pain, no heat, no dizziness, just silence and breath. Deep, cold air filled his lungs again. He gasped, hard, and sat up with a jolt. His heart raced. His skin was wet with sweat, but his strength was returning fast. He looked at the alien girl in disbelief. What did you do? He whispered. She tilted her head. Then, slowly, she placed a hand over her own heart, then pointed to his. The meaning was clear, even if no words were spoken. I saved you. Evan sat up fully now, surrounded by glowing plants, inside a cave lit with bioluminescent crystals. Outside, the jungle noises hummed softly. He was alive. But something was different. He could feel it. When she stood, he felt the pressure in his legs. When she took a breath, he felt his chest rise slightly too. It was faint but real. There was a connection. He looked at her again, more carefully. Who are you? He asked. She hesitated, then pressed a hand to her chest. Nlyra, she said. He nodded. Evan, she repeated it quietly. Evan. Then, slowly, she moved closer and whispered something in her own language again. Evan didn't understand it, but the way she looked at him, concerned, gentle, yet serious, made him realize one thing: whatever she had given him had consequences. And this strange, beautiful girl might be the only one who knew what was happening to his body now. As Evan lay back down, one final thought echoed in his mind. What did she just link me to? And why does it feel like I'll never be the same again? The healing link. Evan woke up to soft light filtering through crystal walls. The cave smelled like sweet herbs and alien flowers. His body felt strange, stronger, lighter, and somehow not completely his. He sat up and touched his chest. The pain was gone, the fever too, but now he felt a gentle pressure behind his ribs, like someone else's heartbeat was faintly echoing inside him. Then he heard soft footsteps again. She entered. The alien girl, Lyra. She carried a bowl of fruit-like plants, their skin glowing, softly in the dark. Without speaking, she knelt and handed them to him. Food, she said in broken English. Evan blinked. You know English? And Lyra shook her head. Few words from old human recordings. He stared at the glowing fruit in his hand. What did you give me? That liquid? She sat across from him, eyes calm. Body milk, she said softly. Only for dying ones. He nearly dropped the fruit. Excuse me. What? She pointed at herself, then traced her fingers along her chest and stomach. Healers, in my people, carry this. Sacred. We use it only when all other hope is lost. Evan remembered her face as she gave it to him, nervous, scared, yet determined. And now? He asked slowly. Am I just healed? And Lyra's expression turned serious. She hesitated, then pointed to his heart, then to hers. Linked. What do you mean? He asked, a chill running through his spine. She stood, walked closer, and lifted his arm slowly. You feel this? She gently pressed her own arm, and he felt a tingle in his. His eyes widened. Okay, that's not normal. And Lyra nodded. Our life threads and touched my milk binds soul and body. You are part of me now. Evan looked down at his hands. This is impossible. And Lyra sat beside him. No, not impossible. Rare, dangerous, but real. He swallowed, hard. So now if you get hurt, I feel it, she nodded. And if you die, I die too. The words hit him like a hammer, a bond stronger than blood, a living connection between species, one that wasn't meant to exist. Can we break it? He asked quietly. She looked away. Maybe. Maybe not. Suddenly, Lyra winced. Evan felt a sharp sting in his side at the exact same moment. He clutched his ribs. You okay? She held her hand, which had been cut slightly by the sharp edge of a stone. Evan stared at the cut and realized something even worse. The bond wasn't just emotional, it was physical. Their pain, their senses, even their breathing, it was all blending. He stood up and took a step back, shaking his head. This can't be happening. But it was. His body was changing. His skin had small glowing dots now, just like hers. His blood pulsed differently, and when he looked at Lyra, he didn't just see her. He felt her worry, her curiosity, her sadness, all mixed with something deeper, loneliness. She had risked everything to save a human, and now she was bound to one. Why did you do it? He asked suddenly. Why save me? And Lyra looked down at her hands. Her voice was barely a whisper. You looked like the one from the old vision, a dream my people feared. He stepped closer. What kind of dream? She didn't answer. Instead, she stood and walked to the edge of the cave, where the jungle swayed in the breeze. She pointed to the horizon. Soon, my people will come. They will smell the link. What will they do? Evan asked. Her voice was cold. They will try to separate us. And if they can't, they will kill us both. Evan's heart pounded. Suddenly being healed didn't feel like a blessing anymore. It felt like the start of something much, much bigger. The outcast's secret Evan followed in Lyra through the glowing jungle paths, careful not to step on the vines that moved on their own. The trees whispered with every breeze. Strange eyes watched from the shadows, but none attacked. He felt stronger with every step, yet something inside him buzzed like static electricity. A strange warmth followed him wherever Lyra went. Because of the bond, he wasn't just healed. He was connected, tied to her, and every step closer to her home brought more questions. Finally, they stopped near a small waterfall made of clear blue mist. The water didn't fall, it floated in place, gently spinning in air. "This is where I was born," she said quietly. Evan looked around. It was peaceful. "Why aren't we going into your city or tribe?" Lyra didn't answer right away. She sat on a smooth stone and placed her hand in the mist, letting the water swirl around her fingers. Then she spoke. "I was cast out when I was just a girl." Evan froze. "Why?" She looked up at him, her green eyes glowing softly in the mist. "Because I saved someone like you. Once before." His heart skipped. "Another human?" She nodded. "Long ago, an explorer from Earth came here. He was injured. Everyone said to leave him. Let nature take him, but I helped him, hid him, tried to heal him." Her voice cracked. "But he ran away, left me behind. And when my people found out," she looked at her bare arms, showing small, glowing scars like symbols burned into her skin. "They said I was touched, unpure." Evan's voice was low. "They punished you for showing mercy." And Lyra nodded. "So when I saw you, poisoned and dying, I told myself I would not repeat that pain again. I would save you, even if it killed me." Evan looked down at his hands, realizing the weight of her choice. "You risked your life, your place, your future, just to keep me breathing." She smiled faintly. It was already broken. They sat in silence for a moment, the mist spinning around them. Then Lyra said something that made Evan's blood run cold. "My people are coming." He turned sharply. "Here?" She nodded. "They have already smelled the bond, the energy we share. It leaves a mark in the air." Evan stepped back. "And what will they do? If we're lucky, they will just separate us. Painfully. And, if we're not, they will kill you and drain me." His fists clenched. "You saved me, I won't let them touch you." She looked at him, surprised. "You say that, but you don't know them. They believe their blood is sacred, their healers are pure. When I gave my body milk to a human again, I broke an ancient law." Evan's eyes narrowed. "Then let's not let them find us," she shook her head. "It's too late." A low hum rolled through the air. The ground trembled slightly. In the sky, several floating discs appeared, dark shapes with glowing violet lights. Evan stepped in front of her. "Without thinking, we run, now." But Lyra grabbed his hand. "No." Evan blinked. "What?" "If we run, they will hunt. If we hide, they will burn the land to find us." She pulled a small stone from her belt. It pulsed in her palm. "There is only one way now." "What way?" She met his eyes. "We go to the Temple of Balance. There we can prove that our bond was not selfish, that it was fate." Evan stared at her. "And what if the temple says we're wrong?" And Lyra's voice shook. "Then we will die together." The hunter beasts awaken. Evan and Lyra moved quickly through the thick alien jungle. The sky above was now blood red, a warning color on this planet. It meant something ancient was stirring. "The temple is 2 valleys away," and Lyra said, her voice tight. "We must hurry. Once night falls, they wake." Evan didn't ask who they were. He would soon find out. Their path curved through tangled roots and glowing plants. Strange alien birds screeched in the distance, then went silent. too silent. Evan's instincts began to scream. He slowed his steps. "We're being followed." Nilira nodded without looking. "I feel it too, through the bond." Then, a deep growl echoed from the shadows behind them. Evan turned and saw nothing, but Nilira's eyes widened. "Oh no," she whispered. "The fangs of the forest, they hunt those with unnatural bonds." Evan raised an eyebrow. "Like us?" "Exactly us." The jungle exploded. A huge beast leapt from the trees, black skin like armor, 4 glowing eyes, and long, dagger-like fangs. Its claws sliced into the earth like knives. Evan pulled Nilira back just in time. The creature roared and charged. They ran. Vines snapped under their feet. Trees bent and cracked as the monster followed. And worse, another one joined from the left, crashing through the brush with terrifying speed. "They're surrounding us!" Evan shouted. Nilira stopped suddenly, grabbed his wrist, and pulled him into a narrow path hidden under roots. "Shortcut to the old tunnels," she said. As they ducked inside, the light vanished. The tunnel smelled of wet moss and old bones. Evan's breath was heavy. "Why are they so aggressive toward us?" Nilira looked at him. "They are not just beasts. They are ancient guardians, trained to destroy anything that breaks the sacred rules, and what we are is forbidden." Evan placed a hand on the wall. "We're bonded, so they want to erase us." She nodded, but then his arm burned. He gasped and looked down. A long scratch from earlier had reopened, and something was crawling out of it. Nilira's face paled. "No, they've infected you." From the wound, tiny black tendrils moved like worms, trying to spread across his skin. Evan's heart raced. But Nilira acted fast. She took his hand, placed it on her chest, and whispered something in her language. A soft glow passed between them, and the black vein stopped, then disappeared. The wound closed in seconds. He looked at her, breathing hard. "You just healed me. Again?" She nodded, her voice trembling. "Our link lets me take your damage. But each time I do, I get weaker." Evan stared at her. "You're burning your life for mine." She didn't reply. Instead, she turned and said, "We need to reach the temple before the next full moon rises, or I won't be strong enough to stand." As they climbed out of the tunnel, the jungle was burning, fire sweeping across the horizon. The beasts had tracked their scent. But now, something had changed. Evan could feel Nilira's pulse in his chest. His steps moved in rhythm with hers. When she ducked, he moved without thinking. When he turned, she followed without hesitation. They didn't just run anymore. They moved as one being. The bond was evolving, and the beasts sensed it too. Above them, one of the monsters hesitated, sniffed, then backed away. Nilira's eyes lit up. "Do you feel that?" Evan nodded. "Yeah, they're confused. They don't understand this bond," she said. "It's no longer just healing, it's something deeper." Evan smirked. "Maybe they're starting to fear us." Suddenly, the ground split ahead. A cliff. No time to stop. He grabbed Nilira's hand. "Trust me." They jumped, falling through the glowing air. Heartbeats matched, souls tied, and just before they hit the water below, they didn't. A strange force caught them, soft, glowing wind, like invisible hands holding them up. Lyra gasped. "The temple's energy. It knows we're coming." As they landed safely beside an ancient stone path, Evan looked behind them. The beasts were gone. For now. But something else had awakened. Not just the monsters. Something inside them. Something ancient and powerful. The forbidden cure. The temple stood silent at the top of the stone path, half buried in the mountain, covered in vines, and pulsing with a low hum. It wasn't made of bricks or metal. It was alive. Its walls were bone-white and slightly warm, like the inside of a living creature. Evan stood still, eyes locked on the entrance. "This is it?" he asked. And Lyra nodded slowly. The Temple of Balance. It was made by the ancients, long before my people ever walked these lands. She reached out and touched the stone. Her hand lit up, glowing softly. The bond we share. It must be judged here. Evan looked at her. Judged? She turned to him. If the temple finds our link unworthy, it will destroy it, and one of us may not survive. His stomach tightened. You mean I could die? She nodded. Or me. A long silence followed. Then Evan stepped forward. I didn't come this far to be afraid now. Together they entered. Inside, it felt like time slowed. There was no wind, no sound, just a wide round chamber with a pool of glowing silver liquid. At its center, giant symbols circled the walls, pulsing softly with blue light. At the far end stood a stone figure, shaped like a tall alien with outstretched arms. Lyra bowed low. We seek the truth, she said in her native tongue. Suddenly the chamber darkened. A voice deep and genderless echoed all around them. One flesh healed, two souls linked. Was it love or fear? Evan stepped closer to the pool. I didn't ask to be saved. She gave me life. The voice spoke again. Would you give yours in return? Without pause, Evan answered. Yes. The pool began to glow brighter. Then the stone figure moved. Its eyes opened. Two burning circles of light. Slowly, it raised one hand toward them. Between them, a shimmering thread of silver light appeared, connecting Evan's chest to Lyra's heart. The voice boomed. To sever the link. Each must offer the thing they fear losing most. Lyra froze. No. Evan looked at her. What does it mean? She didn't answer at first. Her breath shook. Then she whispered. For me? It's you. Evan's eyes widened. Wait, what? She stepped back. If I give up the bond, I give up you. The only soul who didn't see me as broken. He felt the weight of her words. In just days, he had become her lifeline. Not just through the bond, but through hope. Then the voice said, choose. Break the bond or let it become permanent. Evan turned to her. We'll find another way. But Lyra's eyes filled with tears. There may not be another way. This may be your only chance to go back, to be human again. Evan reached out and touched her hand. I don't care about being fully human anymore. Not if it means losing you. A long silence. Then they both stepped away from the glowing thread, together, and the temple responded. The pool turned gold. The stone guardian lowered its arms. The thread between them faded, but did not disappear. Instead, it wrapped around their hearts like a glowing ring. Then, the voice spoke one last time. The bond is no longer a wound. It is a choice. Suddenly, the chamber filled with wind. The doors burst open. A new light filled the jungle outside. They had passed the test, but just as they stepped out, Lyra stopped cold. They're here, she whispered. Evan turned and saw shadows moving fast through the trees. Her tribe had arrived, and they had not come in peace. Confession under the moon's night had fallen fast. Twin moons. One pale, silver, one deep violet, hung high over the jungle canopy. Their light bathed the world below in two colors. Between the trees, shadows moved like ghosts. Evan and Lyra stood at the edge of the temple clearing, staring at the shapes approaching. Figures in armor stepped out, tall, elegant aliens with glowing tattoos, sharp weapons, and cold eyes. The lead warrior's voice cut through the silence like a blade. Lyra, you have broken the vow. And Lyra didn't flinch. I saved him. You corrupted yourself again, the warrior hissed. A second human? You are not a healer anymore. You are a traitor. Evan stepped in front of her. She saved my life. If you want someone to blame, take me. But the alien warriors only laughed, a hollow, cruel sound. You think we fear a human? Then a soft voice spoke from behind the guards. An elder stepped forward. His face was lined with age, but his eyes burned with strange power. His name was Orshal, one of the oldest living spirit keepers. He looked at Evan and paused. Then looked at Enlyra. You saw the vision again, didn't you? He asked. Enlyra lowered her eyes. Yes. Evan glanced between them. What vision? Orshal walked closer, slowly. Long ago, one of our ancestors dreamed of a coming change. A link that would rewrite everything. A healer who would break the sacred rules. And a human whose soul could not be measured by our laws. He looked at Evan again. You are the second part of her dream. Evan frowned. I'm just a man who crashed here. But Enlyra finally turned toward him, her eyes glowing with emotion. No. You're not just a man. She took a step forward, voice soft but steady. When I was still a child, I had dreams of a human face, one I'd never seen before. A man standing at the edge of a great fire, holding my hand as everything burned around us. Evan stared at her. That was me? She nodded. I thought it was just a dream. Until the day I saw you, dying in the forest. I didn't just heal you because I could. She continued. I healed you because something inside me knew you were the one who would either save me or destroy me. Evan took a breath. I'm not special, he said. But Enlyra shook her head. You're not special because of power. You're special because you chose me. No weapon, no army, just a choice. Behind them, the warriors muttered. The elder raised his hand. You both made a choice at the Temple of Balance. Orshal said. We can sense it. The bond is no longer a mistake, it is real. Another warrior shouted. That bond is poison. It changes the healer, weakens our blood. But Orshal replied coldly. Or perhaps it shows us something new, something we've feared for too long. He turned to Enlyra. You will not be punished, but you will not be welcomed either. What does that mean? Evan asked. Orshal looked at him. It means you two must walk your path outside our world, beyond the reach of our laws, and our protection. Evan's hand brushed Enlyra's. She took it, tightly. They were being exiled, but not broken. They had survived the temple, the beasts, the bond, and now, under 2 alien moons, they would face the unknown, together. The new bond. They walked in silence. Evan and Enlyra followed a quiet path through the jungle, far away from her tribe. Above them, the moon slowly faded, and the first orange rays of morning painted the sky. They were outcasts now, but they were free. Each step felt different now, lighter but more real. The bond between them no longer pulled with pain. Instead, it hummed gently like a soft thread of light running between their hearts. Suddenly, Enlyra stopped. They stood before a wide valley, filled with giant stone ruins, half covered in vines and glowing moss. This place was not marked on any map. What is this? Evan asked. Lyra's voice was low. A place from the dreams. I didn't know it was real. Until now. She stepped forward, hand brushing the stone wall. Symbols lit up. Human writing and alien runes side by side. Evan read the human part slowly. 2 worlds must break to become one. He looked at her. Was this written for us? She nodded. I think we were always meant to find this place. Just then a loud cry echoed through the valley. Not animal, not alien. A child. They turned, confused, and followed the sound. Hidden among the broken walls was a young alien girl, no more than 5, her skin glowing faintly. She was alone, crying, beside a shattered energy pod. Her ankle was twisted. Evan rushed forward and lifted her gently. She flinched at first, but then looked into his eyes. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She reached for him. Enlyra gasped. She's not afraid of you. No, Evan said softly. She feels the bond. The child touched Enlyra's hand, then Evan's, and a new light shimmered where they all connected. Suddenly, the temple behind them hummed louder. A burst of energy rose from the stone and formed a symbol above them in the sky, a triangle of light floating, pulsing. Lyra's eyes widened. This is the mark of beginning. What does it mean? Evan asked. She smiled, tears in her eyes. It means the bond between us wasn't an accident. It was the first spark of something new. Behind them, other figures appeared, quiet. At first, watching from the trees, not warriors, healers, elders, curious children. Word had spread. Some had followed not to punish, but to understand. And now, as the glowing triangle hovered above, no one spoke. Because deep down, they all felt it. This was no longer about a forbidden healing. It was about a future that neither species could build alone. Evan looked at Lyra and whispered, "You gave me life. Now let's build one." She nodded. Together. And as the sun rose fully over the valley, lighting the stone ruins in their joined hands, a new story began, one that no law, no tribe, no fear could ever stop.